fantastic opportunities to use new technologies to secure the American people and at the same time be better stewards of the environment.
You have questions, we have answers.
Listen carefully.
You can't really be against hydrofracking and say you're an environmentalist because immediately the default options are fuels that are much less clean.
For the next hour, Shawn Wilson explores the energy industry with news and interviews from around the corner and around the globe.
Nuclear is one of the directions that we should innovate in.
The Exploring Energy Show begins now.
A very, very good Monday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shawn Wilson. Thanks again for making me a part of your day. Woo! The 20th day of October doesn't seem possible. But, boy, that old north wind kind of cooling things down a little bit yesterday. We'll check the weather later on in the show. But, first of all, here's what's on the menu at Elk City Meals on Wheels. A wonderful organization that's filling a wonderful need. Regular meals, $8. Senior citizen meals, $7. Everyone is welcome. So Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the dining room is open. You can call in your order, 225-5821, located at 1510 West 9th Street there in Fairview Village. Today, pigs in a blanket. We used to call them pigs in a poke when I was a kid. Pigs in a blanket, macaroni and cheese, mixed veggies, and peaches is the menu today at Elk City Meals on Wheels. Pigs in a blanket. Macaroni and cheese, mixed veggies, and peaches. Throw them a few extra dollars if you would. Carnegie Library, bringing the Carnegie Caravan right to you. Free books delivered to you by friends of the library. Call them and ask them about their free program if you're having trouble reading regular print. For books or that program, call the library, 225-0136. 225-0136. It's Carnegie Caravan, friends of the Carnegie Library. Today is Donut Monday. That's it. It's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts in Elk City, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. Their kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts, 1926 West 3rd Street, right here in Elk City. Fresh, local, delicious. Open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can call in your specialty orders, 243-9626. Donuts will be ready for you when you get there, 243-9626. Don't dread Mondays. Do not worry. Be happy. SK Donuts, it's love at first bite. Okay, it says here, going here to some energy stock prices to get the show rolling. And they're not great. West Texas Intermediate down 47 cents, trading at $57.07 a barrel on a November contract. New York Mercantile Exchange. Brent crude oil and the ICE Futures Exchange out of London is trading down exactly 47 cents as well to $60.82 a barrel. It's a December contract out of London. Tocomp crude oil out of Tokyo is up 100 yen per kiloliter. And New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas also on the green, up 21 cents, trading at $3.22 per million BTU. That Northerner coming in, it's going to make that gas price go up. Here's some refined products. RBOB gasoline on the New York Mercantile Exchange down $1.20 to $182.57 on a November contract. Heating oil, New York Mercantile Exchange up 90 cents, trading at $218.90. Gas oil up $5.25 to $638.25 per metric ton. Here is the Baker Hughes rig count as we do on Monday mornings. Oklahoma drilling picked up again this week. The state added 2 rigs, lifting the total up to 42. Crews focused on western Oklahoma, where operators continue to chase liquids-rich rock. Field chatter pointed to activity in the Canna Woodford and the Granite Wash. The Stack and Scoop also showed steady work. The national count reached higher also. Baker Hughes reported 584 active drilling rigs across the United States. Oil held in 48 rigs. Gas added 1 to reach 121. Offshore work improved to 17 platforms. The trend signals a slow, durable recovery. Well, here's how Oklahoma stacks up to its neighbors. Texas still leads the pack with 237 rigs on the Baker Hughes rig count. That number slipped by 1 New Mexico gained 2 to hit 102. North Dakota held 28. Colorado moved to 15 rigs with a 1-rig gain. Kansas rose to 17, according to the Red Top Rig Report. Louisiana dropped to 37. Year over the year, U.S. sits 37 rigs lower than last fall. Oil counts trail last year, while gas shows a small lift. Even so, Oklahoma keeps pace. Service yards reporting improving backlogs. Trucking, mud, and wireline crews stay busy on core pads. What does the bump mean for Oklahoma? Well, more rigs mean more local paychecks. Royalty owners also track the uptick. Western counties feel the boost first. Compressors, water haulers, and rental gear all see calls. Midstream planners watch volumes and plan tie-ins. Operators continue to push efficiency. Faster spud to TD cycles help hold costs down. TD being total depth. Pricing still drives decisions. WTI trades in a tight band. Henry Hub eased this week. The Washita basis improved as a pipeline work wrapped up. Producers favor high return zones and hedge against price dips. Winter demand could support gas runs into early 2026. Well, the outlook looks firm footing into winter. Oklahoma shows steady momentum. Companies target core zones and protect cash flow. If prices hold, the state could add a few more rigs. Supply chains look ready. Crews stand by for new pads. The near-term path points to measuring growth and reliable output. So, good report there on the rig report coming out of Baker Hughes. So that's good stuff. I mean, I think that, like I said many times, we want steady. We want steady. We don't need the booms and busts. We just need steady. And everybody can make some money and everybody stay at work. Well, we've talked a lot about wind farms, and the city of Chandler, they banned wind farms within city limits. A Facebook report indicated the city council voted in support of new regulations targeting the wind industry. The moratorium includes any land within the city limits and surrounding Chandler's water supply from Bell Cow Lake. Large-scale commercial and industrial wind energy conversion systems, what they call WCSs, or WCSs exceeding 80 feet in total height, are not allowed within the city limits of Chandler, stated the ordinance. To ensure the protection of the city's drinking water supply for our citizens and to ensure protection of wildlife habitat, there will also be a moratorium on any WECSs, wind energy conversion systems is what they call those, on a city-owned property surrounding the Chandler Lake and Bell Cow Lake, and any private properties within the city limits of Chandler and that abut the city-owned properties surrounding Chandler Lake and Bell Cow Lake. The ordinance continued. Chandler is reported to be the first eastern Oklahoma city to pass any regulations related to the wind industry. It is also the county seat for Lincoln County, where the opposition against wind farms turned into a major political issue for its legislators. The citizen-led Wind Energy Committee did an excellent job and focused on allowing residential wind energy use for those citizens who have interest in powering their personal homes or businesses within wind energy, while also protecting the area within the city limits for any hazards for large-scale industrial wind turbines could pose. The balance helped the ordinance pass unanimously, stated Robin Crouch, a member of the city council. So they did not ban the personal wind turbines. I don't see a whole lot of those now. I mean, they cropped up there for a while. There used to be one at a farm just north of Elk City High School. But, yeah, those I haven't seen a whole lot of those. Now, those aren't the gigantic wind turbines that you see out there on the commercial sites, but they are big enough to provide electricity for a house, small farm. So they didn't ban those, so if those people want to take that on and give themselves wind energy, then they're more than welcome to do so. But they are banning those large wind turbines there in Chandler and around the Chandler Lake. I brought this story because it may set precedent. They were the first eastern Oklahoma city to do so. I look to see others. I really do. Of course, I don't know of one place here in western Oklahoma where a wind turbine sets in city limits. Now, I may be wrong. There are some very close to Weatherford. They're just on the north of Weatherford on the way up, to Thomas. But like I said, I couldn't tell you that those were in the city limits, but I don't see a lot of them like one in downtown Cheyenne or anything like that. We'll wait and see where that goes. We're about quarter after the hour. I'm going to take my first break here from our great sponsors and be back with more of the Monday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show. Oh, did you hear the Chiefs won? I added my shameless plug. We'll be back right after this.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
You know why people like going out to eat? It's a little treat for them. They get to leave the house and go somewhere else and have somebody else cook the food and serve it to them and clean up afterward. All you got to do is pay and leave.
I know a lady that makes it at Janice's Cafe. We go out there and eat all the time. You know why? It's not at home, and it's better than what we cook. You know, one of my favorite things to eat at Janice's Cafe? Catfish. It's good. It's got the crispy breading. Oh, it's like they made it with love, with a little bit more love on top of it.
Bacon cheeseburger.
Best bacon cheeseburger in the business. Name another one.
Mushroom and Swiss.
Best mushroom burger there is ever. Janice's Cafe can make all those burgers for you. Of course they got burgers. Got the best burgers you can have.
Do you think more people drink sweet tea or unsweet tea?
Well, you know what I am.
Half and half.
Half sweet, half unsweet. Janice is located on the south side of Elk City, where you go into the movie theater, right there next to Arby's. You'll be able to find it because there's a big old sign up there that says Janice's Cafe.
Accidents happen, like trying to teach your kid how to drive. He hits the gas instead of the brake while pulling into your driveway, nails a tree, and knocks the thing over onto your house. Look, when dominoes fall, Misty Gosen at Farmers Insurance in Clinton has you covered. For auto, home, life, boat, motorcycle, or any other valuable, call Misty Gosen at Farmers Insurance for a free quote, 580-323-8444, or stop by our office at 2004 West Gary Boulevard in Clinton. Just know how to park before you arrive.
Craving a real steak? Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City is firing up flavors 7 days a week. The grill is always hot and the steaks are always fresh. From juicy char-grilled ribeyes, fillets, and sirloins to chicken fried steak, hearty burgers, seafood, and chicken, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the appetizers, salads, and desserts to top it off. Bring your appetite, we'll handle the rest. Dine in or order online now on the DoorDash app. It's more than just a steakhouse. It's Fred's.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gretaman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
So if your farmer need a hose built, you can come in, we'll build it. Oilfield customer and need us to come out and see you, we'll come out and see you and take an order or pick up a hose, build it, bring it back to you. Solves that problem. I'm Brock Kalk, and my company is American Hose and Supply. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings, oilfield or agriculture. You needed a hose like yesterday. We will stop what we're doing, and if we got to go to our Oklahoma City shop and get it, we'll do that. And I've done that for a lot of my customers. The business I've done with the Oilfield, they got to see your face. Whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever the customer prefers, that's what we're going to do. We sell all types of industrial hose and fittings. In the Oilfield, sometimes you get a call for a crazy, hey, can you get this? And you go find it for them. American Hose and Supply. Come by and see us at 2111 South Main, Elk City, Oklahoma, in Camrock Building next to Fred's.
Or call 303-1123.
Solves that problem.
Restaurants and feedlots, coffee shops and cafes, grocery stores and convenience stores. The Penny News is there, waiting for you to take it home.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Well, after a busy spring and summer, you're ready to put the old equipment and the tractor up. Well, before you do that, do the maintenance so it'll work like you need it next spring. It takes a little bit of time on this end to save a lot of time on the other end and the wear and tear on your equipment. Everything you need for tractor maintenance, motor maintenance, equipment maintenance, you can get it at Camrock Supply next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Online, Camrock Supply, CAMRockSupply.com, 3 local guys with local ties just doing business with their community. Sustaining Oklahoma's energy resources, continuing to educate the oil and gas sector. They've got their SPCC training coming up this week, October 23rd, 11 a.m. Zoom meeting, managing spills, staying compliant, maintain an effective oil spill prevention, control, and countermeasure plan. This can help. It's free. It's a Zoom meeting. Go to www.soer.oerb.com. That's SOER, SOER.oerb.com, part of the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board. This isn't fueled by taxes. This is voluntarily paid for by the oil and gas industry, and they continue to keep you up to speed. SPCC training, October 23rd. Get yourself registered before end of business on the 22nd at www.soer.oerb.com. David Allen Guest, good friend of mine, great friend of the show, good supporter of this show, and he is a wonderful mineral and royalty manager. If you're needing help, David Allen Guest is your guy. Promise you, he is an investment, not an expense. He's been doing it for himself and others for nearly 40 years. It's what it takes. You got to know how to do it. You got to know how to treat people. He's a man of integrity. He understands that he wants to treat you like he wants to be treated. That's the kind of guy you want to do business with. And he'll get you the most out of your royalties. You hear that part? He'll get you the most out of your royalties. If you find yourself in a situation, sell. You want someone you can trust that will not take advantage of you because you're vulnerable in that position. David is a buyer of royalties from estates, probates, trusts, and bankruptcies. He will give you a fair shake every time. David Allen Guest, certified mineral manager. Call him today, 405-341-8698. 405-341-8698, or look him up on the intraweb. David Allen Guest. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, back at it here. I came across this little story here about a firm that's wanting to build a 1-mile-deep nuclear reactor in Kansas. Deep Fission, a company that plans to construct small nuclear reactors 1 mile underground for data centers and other electricity-hungry industries, plans to put its first reactors in Kansas, Texas, and Utah. Deep Fission, a Berkeley, California company, announced its plans, saying its technology will be able to meet the explosive demand for power from artificial intelligence. Signed letters of intent with undisclosed partners in each of those states. It is the second firm, the other being Terra Power, to announce an interest in creating nuclear energy in Kansas to power data centers and AI growth. The world is transforming before our eyes, and there is a race to secure the energy needed to fuel the robust growth of AI and data centers, said Liz Mueller, co-founder and CEO. It's inspiring to see the swift embrace of Deep Fission's technology. We're proud to partner with industry leaders as we seek to deliver safe, cost-effective, and rapidly deployable power that meets today's demand while building a more resilient future. She's an energy and environment entrepreneur and founded the company with her father, Rich Mueller, a physics professor emeritus at the University of California. Deep Fission plans to create what it describes as a scalable on-site power by drilling a 1 mile deep and 30-inch wide borehole. The process would create what it called a Deep Fission borehole reactor 1. Such a pressurized water reactor produces 15 megawatts thermal, 5 megawatts electric, and has an estimated fuel cycle of 10 to 20 years. The company contends that a 30-inch borehole, a mile deep, would provide pressurized and containment, and at the same time would lead to increased security but lower costs. The pioneering method would also allow the reactor to be placed up to 1 mile deep, a process that would have to require thick-walled pressurized vessels. The Topeka Capital Journal reported in a recent filing to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the company said its model is uniquely suited to meet the explosive demand for power from AI workloads, energy-intense manufacturing, and energy-constrained regions. The Capital Journal also revealed the company's advisory board includes 2 Nobel laureates in physics and one whom is a former U.S. Energy Secretary, Stephen Chu. who served during the Obama administration, a former executive of Kerios Power, also a vice president. Publication Data Center Dynamics reported Deep Fission had signed letters of intent with those data centers and co-developers, totaling 12.5 gigawatts of potential capacity in Kansas, Texas, and Utah. You might ask yourself, okay, what is this deep fission? Well, it refers to a specific technology developed by that company. But the core idea is to use the Earth's natural geological pressure and rock mass for containment, so you don't have to have those big, thick-walled vessels, eliminating the need for large, costly above-ground containment structures and offering enhanced safety. Of course, you get right down to it. What it is they are splitting an atom. That creates the power of the fission, if you will. Not fusion, but fission, F-I-S-S-I-O-U-N. Okay, so fission. So that is what they're planning to do. They're planning to just drill this big old deep borehole and put the reactor down in the bottom of the borehole and split the atom and take that energy that it uses from that and bring it to the surface. I think it's a great idea. I mean, like I said, I think nuclear is coming. I think that there's no way around it. I mean, is it going to replace fossil fuels? Not in the immediate future, I promise you. But this reaction, kinetic energies to fission. So in other words, like I said, just splitting the atom down below the ground. Now, next week, I have a guy that's coming on the show that I met at the Oil and Gas Expo, and they're going to be using boreholes for a different method of creating electricity. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to our visit next week with that gentleman too, because it's cutting edge, where it takes, well, basically dry holes can make electricity out of them. Interesting. But this deep fission involves the conventional pressurized water reactors deep underground. Great idea. We'll wait and see. I mean, how cost effective is it? How environmentally safe is it? I mean, anytime the average everyday American thinks about nuclear, like I said, it's a scary thing. Like, oh my God, the first thing you think of is the nuclear bomb. I mean, Fukushima and Hiroshima, that's what you think about. You think about seeing these tests, these giant mushroom clouds. You think about, going back in time with the gas buggy days where they're exploding those nuclear bombs underground to try to create bigger cracks to bring oil and gas to the surface. That didn't quite work out. But I mean, and then you think about, 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, Fukushima. You think about the terrible things, but there's 95 nuclear reactors going on, nuclear power plants in the United States right now. And, it's been many, many years since we heard about the 3 Mile Island. A lot of technology has made advancements in those places as well. So I think it's becoming safer and safer, and it's going to be a reliable, renewable source. It creates no, emissions. Now, it's like something else, though. Everything that we touch, plastics, fuels, that is everyday life, folks. I mean, it's in our clothing. I mean, the natural gas and oil, hydrocarbons, if you will, are used to make a whole lot of things that we use on a daily basis. Nuclear is not going to make those things. It's just like Butch used to say, to create a wind turbine, the massive amount of heat that you have to have in making the steel that goes into those turbines has to be made with natural gas. I mean, or coal. It's just that electricity is not going to get it hot enough to get into the molten stage. So the carbon footprint of making one of those wind turbines, and we've done a study, on this show that shows that the carbon footprint of making one of those will never be recouped in the lifetime of that wind turbine. Think about that for a moment. The carbon footprint it takes to make that wind turbine and get it to its location, get it stood up, get it generating renewable energy, that wind turbine in its lifespan will not recoup the carbon footprint that it made to make it. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back with more of the Monday edition of the Exploring Energy Radio Show in a moment.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Can I ask you a basic, somewhat obvious question? Energy, agriculture, gas, oil, beef. Is it possible to talk about one without talking about the other?
Not standing over a gas-operated flat top, I suppose, next to a bunch of gas-operated fryers.
Gas, and more gas. I live in California.
Yeah.
Maybe you've read. Somebody somewhere has waged a war on gas stoves.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
Thoughts?
In a nutshell, I prefer to cook on gas stove.
There it is. Official.
See their stories at oerb.com/micro.
For those who don't know what they want, we show them around the showroom floor. We show them the pictures, and we show them different things that they can do, and that gets them started. While we're doing that, we get them to start talking about the people that the monument's for, and that helps us guide them to a better understanding of what they can do for people. Now, the ones that come in and they know what they want, sometimes they'll bring in sketches and have it all drawn out and everything, and we try to take that sketch and we try to show them, okay, we can do it this way, and show what's the most important thing down through the ages is going to be to them, and guide them that way. Sometimes I'll give them exactly what they want, show it to them exactly like they want, and show them how we would try to do it for them, and they'll end up with the one that we tried to do for them.
Willis Granite Products. WillisGranite.com.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
It's time to make your Monday sweet. Head to SK Donuts, your local donut spot with the freshest, fluffiest donuts in town. From classic glaze to cream and jelly filled, there's a treat for everyone. And their kolaches are both affordable and delicious. SK Donuts on West 3rd Street in Elk City. Fresh, local, delicious. Don't dread Mondays. Don't not worry. Be happy at SK Donuts. Open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Fence building or welding, John 6 will get her done. 6 Wire Company, 580-497-6213.
Stay informed with the latest news from the energy industry on the Exploring Energy Show.
ASCO Equipment, one of our sponsors of this program. We appreciate them. We appreciate the fact that they are wanting to be a partner in your project. And that's not a saying, that's a doing. That's a walk the walk kind of thing. Talk the talk, walk the walk. That's what they do at ASCO Equipment. They're family owned. They've been operating under the core values of honoring God, developing people, pursuing excellence, growing profitability since 1960. They continue that. They also represent Case IH, Caterpillar Lift Truck Line, Case Construction, Crown, Bobcat, Genie, Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Volvo, all the big names in the big equipment. ASCO is a leading provider for the Oklahoma construction, ag, and energy sectors, proudly serving this area with construction equipment like tractors, backhoes, wheel loaders, cranes, dozers, excavators, forklifts, compactors, pavers, skid steers, and more. ASCO Equipment, they're the real deal, folks. They'll come and work on your equipment no matter where you bought it, when you bought it, or who you bought it from. Bart Shields on the equipment sales side, the equipment rental side, E.J. Gredeman, the branch manager, Jerry B. Bridgman. And their mechanics, their technicians, if you will, certified technicians, over 200 factory trained, 140 field service trucks. They've got $21 million worth of equipment parts in stock. It's ASCO Equipment, one of 27 locations. Ours is right here, 513 West 20th Street. Get them online, ASCOEQ.com, ASCO, ASCOEQ.com, or call them here, the local office, 323-3422. And Fred's Steakhouse, home of the $4.99 chicken fried steak, served daily, hand-battered, country gravy, house-made mashed potatoes. They're also your destination for fresh USDA graded beef ribeyes, KC strips. Some people call them New York strips. Filet mignon and sirloins hand-cut daily by the in-house butcher. 7 kinds of chicken. Maybe seafood's what you crave. They have that. They have freshwater catfish. They have appetizers sure to please everyone, like wood chips, fried pickles, cheese curds, mushrooms, Rocky Mountain oysters, to name a few. Cap off your dining experience with fresh in-house made desserts, all at Fred's. They also have a full-service bar. Fred's Steakhouse can host your private event. Located at 2107 South Main Street. Call 243-2100 or order online on the Chow Now app. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And what if before you needed them, you called American Hose and Supply and got those hoses? What about if before your hoses failed, you had those hose replacements already there, ready to go? How much easier would that make your life? How much easier would that make it get you up and going? American Hose and Supply inside the Camrog building next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. Call 303-1123. Call 303-1123. Go to those who know hose, American Hose and Supply. Okay, get back at it here. Let's see here. Well, the SEB expects OPEC to cut production soon. In a report to rigs owned by Skandinaviska Liskada Banken AB, SEB, on Tuesday, Chief Commodities Analyst Bjorn Snelldrop outlined the SEB expects the OPEC group to cut production soon. We expect OPEC to implement cuts to avoid a large increase in inventories in Q1, Snelldrop said in his report. So the first quarter of 26. The group will probably revert to cuts earlier at its earliest in December meeting when they discuss production for January, and early January when they discuss production for February. The oil price will likely head yet lower until the group reverts to cuts, Snelldrop warned. In the report, Snelldrop highlighted that in its recently released monthly report, the International Energy Agency estimates that the need for crude oil from OPEC in 2026 will be 25.4 million barrels per day versus production by the group in September of 29.1 million barrels per day. The group thus needs to do some serious cutting at the end of 2025 if it wants to keep the market balanced and avoid inventories from skyrocketing, given the EIA is correct with this, he added. We also, however, expect OPEC to implement cuts. We think OPEC will cut production as needed in 2026 to prevent that huge buildup in global oil stocks and crash in prices. But for now, we're still heading lower into the 50s per barrel, he added. WTI is already there. Anyway, in that separate SEB report sent to Rig Zone October 7th, Snelldrop said the message from OPEC Plus over the October 4th to 5th weekend was we are still on a weakening path with rising supply from the group. He added, however, that there is nothing we have seen from the group so far which indicates that they will close their eyes, let the world drown in oil, and the oil price crash to $40 per barrel or below. OPEC Plus can't afford to do that either. So that's that report. Then I came across this little nugget, and it says here, fossil fuels to dominate global energy use past 2050, according to McKinsey. The latest U.S.-focused energy news delivered. Energy demand will rise mainly due to projected 20 to 40% increase from the industry and building sectors by 2050, according to the report, with North America data centers seen as the biggest contributors to this surge. The use of natural gas for electricity generation is expected to grow significantly, while coal use may also persist at higher than thought levels. McKinsey expects fossil fuels to account for about 41 to 55% of global energy consumption in 2050, down from today's 64%, but higher than previous projections. U.S. data center-related power demand is expected to grow nearly 25% through year 2030, while demand from data centers globally would average 17% growth per year between 2022 and 2030, especially in the OECD countries. Alternative fuels are not likely to achieve broad adoption before 2040 unless mandated, but renewables do have a potential to provide 61 to 67% of the 2050 global power mix, according to McKinsey. This is the key quote. This has probably been our biggest shift in thinking on the evolution of energy systems, McKinsey partner Diego Hernandez-Diaz told Reuters, adding that McKinsey did not now expect oil demand to plateau until 2030s. Combined with the global and regional economies of some fossil fuels, it leads us to see up to 55% of the global energy stack being fossil fuels by 2050, so still over half. The global energy outlook is being shaped by geopolitical uncertainty and governments prioritizing energy affordability and security over meeting Paris Agreement targets. McKinsey report also cites energy recession risks like tariffs and tech innovation as factors behind continued fossil fuel reliance. So this report out of McKinsey shows that they're starting to say exactly what we've been saying for a long time. They're not going to be able to make it produce the amount of electricity, insatiable appetite of the United States and the global community with renewable energy, intermittent energy. They're just not going to be able to do it, not at this point anyway. And so they're looking well beyond what they thought, of course, in the last administration when we had the puppet man in there, Brandon, and all this climate change hoax and all the money put to all his cronies through the green energy scam. That stuff's starting to come to a head, and it's also starting to be, known for what it is, what it was. It was just rhetoric, Never let a good catastrophe go to waste, and I think that's what they're talking about here. Is they want to create some kind of a catastrophic, like the climate change, and we all heard when they were into it real big time about how, the world as we know it's going to come to an end because of fossil fuels, because of the climate change. The solar ice caps are going to melt, and all the extra water in the ocean is going to flood inland. I mean, if you couldn't see through that back when that was first happening, you weren't alive back in my day when the ozone had a hole in it and we were all going to burn up because we were using aerosol cans. Then the new ice age, where it said that we were going to be covered in ice all the way down to middle America. I mean, yikes. Anyhow, with that being said, it's good to see some people are finally starting to understand that fossil fuels are a source of electricity, a constant source of electricity, and that we're going to have to continue to have them, especially as more electrified we get. And this little report came out that the feds warn of international trade disruptions for the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma's trade landscape examined Oklahoma's trade activity remains limited compared to other states, but select industries keep the state tied to the global market. Okay, so basically that's the focus of the latest Oklahoma economist report from the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City's Oklahoma City branch. The issue, titled Oklahoma's Trade Landscape, Broadly Insulated Yet Exposed in Key Sectors, explores how concentrated exports and imports could leave portions of the state economy vulnerable to global trade disruptions. Okay, aerospace. Courtney Cowley, Assistant Vice President and Executive of the Oklahoma City branch, said the state's most trade-exposed sectors are aerospace and energy. Oklahoma's international trade has focused on select products, particularly aerospace exports and oil imports from Canada. Cowley said, while Oklahoma has less exposure to international trade in aggregate, the state's specialization in trade-heavy sectors and reliance on Canadian oil could leave pockets of the economy exposed to trade disruptions. The report noted that aerospace exports remain a major strength for Oklahoma, driven by aircraft manufacturing in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. However, reliance on Canadian oil imports adds that risk, particularly during times of energy policy changes or global supply interruptions. Stable but strategic. Despite these vulnerabilities, the Fed report describes Oklahoma's overall trade footprint as broadly insulated. The state's diverse mix of agriculture, manufacturing, and energy keeps it relatively stable during global downturns. So basically, Oklahoma doesn't have all their eggs in one basket. Still, the concentration of certain exports could amplify the impact of a global slowdown in aerospace or energy markets. The Oklahoma Economist concludes that the policymakers and businesses should monitor these key sectors closely and plan for potential supply chain challenges. So Oklahoma's still sitting in a good place. Like I said, I think it's awesome that we have more than just one thing, not just oil and gas, not just ag, not just aerospace manufacturing. We have all three here. Good stuff. I was glad when I read this report last night because when I first saw the headline, I thought, oh my gosh, international trade disruptions, they warn. Well, they're just saying to stay cognizant of it. But right now, we're a lot more insulated than other places in the country. Good news. I'm going to take that good news right into our next break. The great news is my lovely assistant has joined me here in the studio. She'll have the weather forecast, energy stock prices of local note, and we'll have energy news in my brief and more as we continue with the Monday mop-up segment of the Exploring Energy radio show in a moment.
The Exploring Energy Show.
One of the computers here at the station was crashing, about to lose everything on it, and we didn't even know it. But Dennis knew because he was watching, and he warned us in time.
Hey Gabe, it's Dennis. Our system detected that one of your computers has a hard drive that's about to fail.
Which one?
It's Nathan's.
So what do I need to do?
Well, we probably need to get it in the shop and get the drive cloned to a new machine before he loses any data off of it.
Do you have another computer in stock that we can just get it fixed real quick?
Sure, we've got some in stock. Just need to get it in, get it cloned over, and be good to go.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dennis.
You bet, sounds good. See you.
ITL monitors our computers at Paragon Communications remotely, so Dennis Teal knows there's a problem before we even know it. He helped us save years' worth of valuable files. ITL's remote monitoring comes in very handy here at work. That kind of security system for your computers can keep your business running so you can keep making a living.
This month at Cummins Cadillac in Weatherford, the new 2025 iconic Escalades are here and ready for you. Don't miss the savings during the month of tricks and treats. And here's the best part, this is no trick. Driving away in a new Cadillac Escalade is the ultimate treat. Sleek, powerful, and unforgettable. Come see all the new Escalades today at Cummins Cadillac in Weatherford, where luxury always takes the wheel. Stop today and visit Cummins Cadillac in Weatherford, I-40 and Airport Road, or online at CumminsCadillac.com.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
So there's a company out there that has a certain color. All the farmers and stuff think their oil has to be used in those certain color of tractors, and it's just not true. So here at Camrock, we have the same specification oil as the other brand, where people think that they have to use that for a certain color on their tractors and stuff like that. But we have the same oil specifications as they do. Works just as well, does the same thing, lubes it just the same. Price comparison is, it's not even a comparison. We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil. I use it at our place. My son uses it for our colored tractors that we have, and a lot of other farmers use it too. It's the same oil, specifications are the same. It's kind of a myth where they think that it's got to be that certain type of oil for that color of tractor.
Camrock is the name of the company. It's 2111 South Main, Elk City, south of Fred's Steakhouse.
We have a better price than anybody around on that type of oil.
We rent most everything, from backhoes to mowers to lifts and chainsaws. DJ's Rentals and Sales, 225-1400 on South Main in Elk City.
This is the Exploring Energy Show.
Okay, let's get right back at it here. Do some of that. Do some of this right here. Oh, there she is. I'm going to center you up on this camera. There you go. DCP Services, a proud supporter of this show and a diversified oil field company offering the right services with the right people on the job. They got lease operators. They've got roustabouts. They've got their wireline division with both braided and slick line options. And they've got that pump repair shop in Cordell that continues to push out those rebuilt pumps to like new. All that. DCP Services. You can find them on Facebook or you can call Jeff Davis, 580-660-0501. 580-660-0501. DCP Services. And this hour's weather forecast brought to you as a service of Carter Electric, owned and operated by Kervin and Mary Orgain, located at 217 West 12th Street here in Elk City. Everyone knows that distinct smell when something electrical gets too hot. Don't ignore it. Electrical fires, they happen, especially in older houses and buildings, but any building or house. Carter Electric has infrared scanners and a level 1 certified technician. They can detect those hot spots before they short out and catch fire and then fix them. Commercial and residential uses can save thousands of dollars and save lives. Fully licensed and insured, Carter Electric has the equipment, personnel, and experience to handle any job 24 hours a day. Any electrical job. And they're an authorized Generac generator dealer. They can size it for your business or your home, sell it to you, install it correctly, professionally, and then come back and service it. It's all at Carter Electric. Call them today, 225-2447, 225-2447, providing you this hour's weather forecast of service, Carter Electric in Elk City. TJ?
Today we are sunny with a high near 83, south-southwest wind 15 to 22 miles per hour, becoming north in the afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 33. Tonight, clear with a low around 46, northeast wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 73, north-northwest wind 5 to 7 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 77, south-southwest wind 8 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24. Thursday, a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1. Mostly cloudy with a high near 77. Friday, a 30% chance of showers, mostly sunny with a high near 73. Saturday, sunny with a high near 71. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 77.
All righty. Energy news in my briefs. A fire ignited at BP's 440,000 barrel per day oil refinery in Whiting, Indiana, before it was extinguished on Friday morning, the company said. The blaze at the largest refinery in the U.S., Midwest, caused gasoline prices to spike in parts of the region. The fire resulted from an operational incident. There were no injuries. I repeat, there were no injuries. The company said in an emailed statement it did not elaborate on the incident. Those big places like that, they have their own fire department, their own fire suppression, so glad to hear they got that under control, and more glad to hear no one was injured. The U.S. Defense Department canceled a tender to buy cobalt in a fresh sign of the challenges facing Western countries trying to bolster domestic supplies of the battery metal. The Defense Logistics Agency first sought offers in mid-August for up to 7,500 tons of cobalt over the next 5 years in a contract worth as much as $500 million. Arizona, California, and Oregon are among more than 20 states that filed a lawsuit accusing the Trump administration of unlawfully terminating the U.S. EPA's $7 billion Solar for All program aimed at expanding low-income households' access to solar. Oh, boy. California solar roof shingle manufacturer GAF Energy plans to move its headquarters from San Jose to Texas, citing better market opportunities. Federal court in Montana dismissed a youth-led lawsuit accusing the Trump administration's pro-fossil fuel policies of violating constitutional rights to life and liberty. They live among us. Wyoming's Public Service Commission plans to appeal a judge's decision granting Pacific Corp its proposed 29.2% rate hike after regulators have significantly reduced it. Amazon and Energy Northwest plan to deploy 12 SMR, small modular reactors, developed by X Energy at their planned 960-megawatt nuclear power plant, or their nuclear plant in southern Washington. They'll take 12 of those SMRs. Here's something from around the world. China said that its purchase of Russia oil was legitimate and decried recent unilateral bullying measures by the United States as the trade row between the two countries continues to intensify. The rebuke came after President Donald Trump said that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had promised to stop buying Russian oil and that he could get China to follow suit. Plans for a groundbreaking rare earths refinery in East Yorkshire have been abandoned after the company behind the project decided to seek investment in the United States instead. Pensana has spent the past 7 years developing a rare earths mine in Angola. The $268 million project, one of the largest of its kind in the world, will begin delivering raw materials in 2027. That's energy news in my briefs. What do you got over there as far as energy stock prices?
Looks like it's a good day today.
Good. It needed to. Friday was a...
No. American Electric Power is down 11 cents, trading at $117.42. Apache is up 32 cents, trading at $22.84. Baker Hughes is up 37 cents at $45.50. ConocoPhillips is up 16 cents at $86.64. Devon Energy is up 27 cents at $32.01. EOG Resources is down 9 cents at $106.13. Expand Energy is up $3.13, trading at $103.91. General Electric is up $4.36 at $304.50. Halliburton is up 13 cents at $22.39. Helmerich & Payne is up 26 cents at $23.39. Liberty Energy is up $1.48, trading at $16.80. Occidental Petroleum is up 35 cents at $41.25. OG&E Energy is up 24 cents at $46.74. One Oak is up 2 cents at $68.11. Phillips 66 is up $1.11 at $130.39. Sandridge Energy is up 11 cents, trading at $11.37. Schlumberger is up 14 cents at $32.79, and Williams Companies is up 60 cents at $63.04.
Okay, well, don't expect much change in your winter heating bills this year. The U.S. Energy Information Administration released its 2025 Winter Fuels Outlook, predicting that the heating costs across the nation, including Oklahoma, will vary based on fuel type. The report showed that most natural gas users will see similar bills to last winter, while electric heating households may pay slightly more. In contrast, propane and heating oil users should experience modest savings. The EIA's projection comes as Oklahoma utilities prepare for fluctuating seasonal demand. The agency said the retail price of heating fuel remains the biggest factor in determining total winter expenses. But natural gas still dominates in Oklahoma. Oklahoma relies heavily on natural gas to heat homes, with nearly two-thirds of residents depending on it during colder months. Because the state both produces and processes gas locally, Oklahomans often enjoy lower heating costs than the national average. Good stuff. All right, some energy commodity prices. Okay, still going in the downward spot. WTI down 65 cents, trading at $56.89. Brent crude oil down 71 cents, trading at $60.58. New York Mercantile Exchange natural gas, however, up 26 cents to $3.27 per million BTU. Good stuff there. Got some sports going on this week. Merritt travels to Hooker. Merritt all the way up to Hooker. That's Friday night, 7 p.m. kickoff, 6:30 pregame on ParagonTV.com. Again, that's made possible by the Bank of Western Oklahoma, as is Big Elk TV football coverage. Elk City travels over to Weatherford, take on the Eagles this Friday night. 6:20 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. So we'll wait and see. Elk City and Merritt both coming off big wins for this last Thursday night. Hope everybody had a really good and safe fall break, as fall has fallen, no doubt about it. The cooler temperatures Sure make it nice for an old fat kid like me, and you're freezing to death over there. I know how it works. If people want to grow their business, what do they need to do, TJ?
Call me. Either up here at the station or you can call my cell phone number.
There you go. Either one. Right there, you heard it, folks. Be back again tomorrow morning right here on 96.5 KECO's Exploring Energy Radio Show. For TJ and all of our great sponsors, I'm Shawn Wilson. Thanks for listening. I promise we'll talk again. Have yourself a great day.
Cool country.
I love the nonstop music. I love your music because it's such a wide range.
This is KECO, Elk City.
Fox News, I'm CJ. Pop of violence flares up in the Middle East, but Hamas leaders said they don't know anything about an attack in Rafah, leaving 2 Israeli soldiers dead.
Israel responded with about 100 airstrikes. The Israeli government said